your settings are not right this time, I swear to
I'm
God.
sorry.
I'm sorry. All right, everybody, welcome to Crossing Streams. I am BuffaloKaays, and with me is Mr. Ryno, formerly of the AZ version. Drop the AZ, now just Ryno. Welcome to our first episode. This one's going to cover a large umbrella, so don't panic if we don't go into detail. This is going to be kind of a preview as to what this web series is going to be about.
Yep. Yeah. So we're gonna hit a lot of topics in this first video. We'll probably be kind of scattered a little bit, but don't worry. Future videos will be more narrowed down and over one topic. So hope you guys bear with us.
Yeah. So Ryno, to kick things off, why don't you tell you guys what the basic point of the show is?
So basically, Kay and I have had this, idea for a while. We know there's a lot of other videos out there that kind of go over these topics, but Kay and I want to give our 2 cents into these certain topics. Everybody's, Twitch or streaming journey in general is different. So we want to give our take, our own personal experiences into the streaming world. We're both partnered. Kay's journey to partner was much different than mine. So we're going to just kind of dive into a bunch of different topics. If you guys have any questions or comments, please drop them down in the section below, and we'll try and get back to you guys.
Yeah, real quick, talking about our journey, just so you guys know we're not completely full of it. So I've been streaming on Twitch for about 2 years. It took me almost 1 year to the day to reach partner. No tricks, no gimmicks, no follow for follow BS. Just I found some techniques maybe that aren't a secret. I think they're largely overlooked. And I kind of use those to my advantage to go ahead and make partner, and the stream has been growing exponentially. Ryno's path is a little bit different. You streamed for what? You're going on 3 years now, right?
I just recently hit the 3-year mark, and I got partnered on 2 years and 351 days, but who's counting?
Nice. Yeah, like I said, very, very different paths, but when we buckle down to how to go ahead and make our quote partner push that I hate, whole different episode. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But for that, focus of trying to get to partner, that part is where we were very, very similar and followed the exact same techniques and styles and tools to go ahead and reach that part. And so what we're going to try to do is just give you guys some info of how we did it, right? And how to grow and how to continue to grow and keep doing these things and get your channel to where it wants to be. There's tons of info out there. There's tons of tools out there where people give advice on how to stream. And to be honest, a lot of it is flat out bullshit, or it gives you like a piece of it, right? You see this all the time. Be positive, build your community. Well, I'm going to tell you, out of context, that means absolutely nothing, right? If you don't know what that means exactly, then it does nothing for you. Like those, be positive, build your community. Okay, everyone's gonna take that differently and run with it. And if you don't know how to use that properly or develop those things properly, it does absolutely nothing for you.
Yeah. So we'll just kind of start at the basic. We'll start at the forefront here of that decision of what platform to stream to. You have Twitch, you have YouTube, you have Mixer, you have DLive. There's a lot of options out there. So, before you really dive into it, do your research first. Look at all those platforms and figure out which one suits you best. Look at the research, the numbers, the market share for all of these different platforms, and just make your decision based off of that before you really start diving into this.
Yeah, there's no real wrong answer on that part about where to stream anyway. It all it depends on what you're comfortable with, where you want to be. Essentially, I had that conversation with somebody a little while ago. They were discussing, what should I stream on? Is it easier to grow on Mixer? Is it easier to, to grow on YouTube or Twitch? And the only answer is take a look at where you want to be at the end, right? When you reach all your goals, where do you think you fit in best? And that's the only thing you can do, because they are vastly different platforms. Some say discoverability's better on Mixer, but your mass of viewers come from Twitch. You got to make that decision of where you want to go with it.
I mean, I've tested them out. I've tested Mixer out. I've tested DLive out. I actually got partnered on DLive, fun fact, before I got partnered on Twitch. So, just kind of dive into it, take a look and see what suits you best. And then, go from there, at least just hit that start button. And kind of leading into this next topic is, what should you buy before you dive into it? And I think Kay and I agree on this topic as far as, get yourself a solid webcam and get yourself a solid mic to start.
Yeah, absolutely. That's key. I mean, everybody, and you don't have to spend a lot, right? Everybody has the standard like streamer starter set of a Logitech C920 and a Blue Yeti microphone, and those are fantastic. They'll set you back about what, $200. I think even cheaper on the holidays. There's sales for them all the time. I think somebody found one for like $180 for both of them in the same box.
Yep, with Logitech and Yeti, I think all fall under the same umbrella now. So you'll see them boxed up together as like a package. So,
perfect.
That was the first thing I went and did before I started streaming. I had a buddy tell me I had the personality to start streaming on Twitch. So I didn't even know what it was at the time. I had put no thought into it. Did my research, started jumping around from stream to stream, looked to see what the best like starting options were. And the C920 and the Blue Yeti were 1 and 2. Like those are the ones you had to get. And that's what I went and bought. I made the investment to at least have those 2 items to start streaming, so just, you don't want to go into it with a bad webcam or a bad headset. But at the same time, if you do want to at least, put your foot in the water and just kind of test it, it's okay if you have like a headset mic to start with, and your like laptop webcam. It's not ideal, and I don't recommend staying with that. But just to get going, if that's all you have until you can afford to go get those items, don't be afraid to try that out. Just don't expect too much as far as quality. So, okay, I don't know if you want to elaborate on that.
I think that's kind of the key part is don't be afraid to just start with whatever you have, right? Don't feel like you have to go out and get these things to get started. But on that same token, don't be surprised if you don't see, a lot of traffic through your channel. Like I know for me, it's tough for me. I don't generally go into a lot of channels unless I at least see a webcam because I'm going there to meet that person, right? The game is absolutely secondary. I want to go in and meet that person. So the webcam is crucial for me to a lot of times even click on the stream to give them a shot. But then once I get in there, the first thing I'm going to notice is going to be your audio quality. And if you're playing off of a headset microphone, they're not generally the best quality. They're usually very muffled, sometimes very staticky. So it's difficult to sometimes enjoy a conversation with that streamer. If they have some rough, audio quality. Like people are there to meet you. That's the one thing. Like you're the star of the show, right? Not the game, not your overlays, not anything else. It's you, right? So you need to be the focus point to some point. If people can't see and talk to you, it's going to make it very, very difficult to grow and bring people back into your channel when they do click on it.
Absolutely. Kay, you hit it perfectly. You are the star of the show. So you want to showcase yourself on your stream. Just kind of keep in mind, you don't have to go in with these items to start, but if you really want to take this seriously and you want to take that next step, go out and buy those items. If it's something that you really thoroughly enjoy and you're actually making, you're in the black is what Kay always says. You can go out and make the bigger ticket item purchases like a DSLR or mirrorless camera, capture cards, an XLR microphone, a mixer, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's something down the road. Like I said, this whole video, first one is going to cast a wide net and we'll go over all this stuff in future videos, but we're going to kind of just like do a speed run across a lot of these topics.
Yeah. A lot of that too, like the upgrading stuff, I would say like, I wouldn't even recommend doing that until you're probably, 5 to 6 months of making, a couple $100 on Twitch each month where it's kind of stabilized and been consistent. You don't want to, you might have 1 month where, somebody donates a bunch of subs like, oh my God, I'm making $400 a month on Twitch now. I can go out and buy all this stuff. Relax. Like keep those kind of things in mind. You need to make sure that you're, if you're making $500, $2,000 a month on Twitch, you're starting to get a little bit of a, you can kind of snowball that and kind of help that grow. That's when you might want to start making that switch. Okay, this is where I'm at now. And then you have to decide if investing more money into your stream will then bring in longer revenue, because at the end of the day, you can do this for fun. You can do it as a hobby. That's great. Keep it at that price point. Then if you want to make it a lifestyle or a career, you're going to have to make investments down the road to some degree, though. There's some really big streamers that still stream off a Logitech C920 and they're good to go. Some stream off of a headset mic, but those cases are very, very rare. Like I said, this is not blanket advice for everybody. It's not the end all be all on how to grow, how to do things, but this is stuff that Ryno and I have used to help our channels grow.
Yep.
And reach our goals to be partners and continue to grow and get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, absolutely too. I mean, if you're, wanting to, dive into the whole streaming world, and if I wouldn't recommend going out and buying these big budget items to start, just in case you don't like it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. I've met a ton of people over these last 3 years that, dove into streaming and quit.
Hmm.
Something I pride myself on a lot is, supporting as much as I can to a lot of my stream friends. And when Twitch came out with the founders badges, I had 86 of them, and more than
Wow.
half of them don't even stream anymore. So just kind of keep in mind before you really like start throwing a bunch of money at your setups and whatnot, just make sure you like it, make sure you're enjoying it, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And just, kind of take it from there.
Yeah, I mean that's the big thing. Like it's something that can look fun to do. That's why I started, right? I started because I watched Ryno. Um, I was looking for a review on a game, and I Googled it, and I have happened to stumble across the stream and asked him about the game, and then years later, probably a couple months later, I was like, you know what? You look like you're having a ton of fun when you're doing this. I'm playing the same game in a room by myself. Let me give this a try. Um, and I mean, you can try it, but there's no guarantee you're going to enjoy it. You might even be really good at it, but if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to stay with it. So don't go invest a bunch of money into a brand new hobby that you don't know, that you're going to stick with. Nobody likes to fix up or, thinks like, hey, I think I might want to go fix up new cars, and goes and drops $20,000 on a car and a bunch of new tools. No, you get some, you know what I mean? You start off slow, small, whatever, and then it grows into something much bigger. Don't, take out a loan on a new PC and a microphone and a big camera. Just start small, find out if you like it and if it's something that you want to continue to do before you invest too heavily into it.
Absolutely. So, rolling into our next topic, as far as quality and whatnot, is overlays, I think, is what we want to touch base on. You see a lot of new streamers and whatnot who, for whatever reason, they have just this explosion of stuff on their screen, and the focal point's not really them or the game. It's just kind of a whole lot of hodgepodge going on. It's kind of hard to explain. And then you have the other end of the spectrum too, where they just have their webcam and that's it. Webcam and the game, bare necessities. That's okay too. But on the aspect of overlays, is you want to kind of give your own little touch of personality on the overlay, but within reason. Don't throw a bunch of graphics up there just to kind of clutter up the whole screen, because a lot of people are going to watch the game and not all the different animations and stuff going on the screen. So kind of keep that in mind. There's plenty of places online that have free options and whatnot. I started off pretty basic. I know Kay did as well. He pretty sure you went through a free route too, right?
Yeah, I did. The Streamlabs has a bunch of free overlays to you, and I went ahead and started with those, and used them for a while until I started to make a little bit of money on it. I found it was something that I wanted to stay on and keep doing, and then I invested in somebody designing a logo for me, and then branched out and paid somebody else to build some overlays and transition scenes for me. Nothing too expensive. I think my first package was like $80. Which is, it's a significant chunk of money, but it wasn't, I didn't go out to VBI and spend $800 on a whole new setup. But I wanted to keep things clean too, and kind of keep things kind of minimalistic, clean and sharp, so that the focus was on the gameplay and me without being distracted by all these other things. But also taking, what now has become my brand, your color scheme, that's your brand. Like it or not, everything that you do on Twitch, you are representing your brand, and you are your brand. So your logo, your color scheme, how busy your overlay is all part of that brand. So you got to keep that in mind as you're kind of build these things and deciding what route to go with. Do you want the animated stuff? Do you want the very minimalistic one? Do you want it very clean? Do you want it, I mean, some people, you might want it looking a little bit more cluttered because that's your style, that's your brand, that's fine. But those are the things you have to keep in mind as you're picking these things out and moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. On my personal overlay, it's just my webcam box, which has got a little graphic around it with my logo, and it's got my recent subscriber and my partners, the companies that I partnered up with. So I've changed.
Yeah, mine's even less.
Sorry, I've changed it a ton over my 3 years. I'm constantly tweaking it, and it's something that I get bored with, and I'm just trying to find that perfect mix.
Yeah, I've changed mine a little bit too. Mine's actually gotten more and more minimalistic as it goes on. I don't tend to add a lot of stuff. I tend to take stuff away. Like I used to have the recent subs and recent followers and stuff on there. I actually ended up taking that away because it felt too cluttered on what I had. I had a banner on the bottom for a long time that had all this stuff on there and the scrolling text. Like, oh, it looks so cool. And then after a while, like I would go back and watch my VODs for quality. And I'm like, man, it doesn't fit. Like it didn't match my my tone of the stream and my brand and my color scheme. Like things just didn't look right to me, so I ended up just taking it down.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of rolling into the next subject is alerts, which is kind of part of your overlay scene and whatnot. Um, I know you'll roll into a stream and somebody's hitting the follow button and it's obnoxiously loud, or it's a 20-minute song, exaggerating, but um kind of keep in mind, you can have a lot of fun with your alerts. You can go get an animated set, custom animated alerts made, which is expensive. You can just get, some awesome gifts that are related to your stream, your channel. I know Kay, you use gifts and whatnot for yours, right?
I used to. I did for a long time. Now I have my own custom
That's
animated
correct.
ones.
I remember now.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, there's options out there. I mean, there's like you said, even with like the overlays that Kay was talking about on Streamlabs, there's opportunity. There's definitely a bunch of free options out there for like new followers, new subscribers, new donos, etc. Just kind of
Yeah, there's a lot of for the alerts especially. I mean, you can go on Giphy.com and search for all the gifts in the world and download the ones you want. And my instance is great for a lot of sound effects to add your stuff in. The only thing I would recommend on for the alerts is keep them keep them to your brand, make them relatable. Don't have just some random things on there. I would make it part of your stream, part of you. Um, yeah, so yeah, make them part of your stream, make them unique to you. With those tools, there's plenty of tools out there to make them unique. Before you go out and spend a ton of money on custom ones, then you just build them in Streamlabs or Stream Elements and go ahead and throw them up that way. It's really, really simple to do. I'm sure we'll have a video down the road of how to do that.
we'll touch base
Most of you should know. Yeah, the only thing that I would recommend is even when you first start, when you set up Streamlabs or Stream Elements, however you want to do your alerts in OBS, um, change them off of the default ones, right? Like it's super noticeable when you go in and everybody gets that same like little baby
the zombie, yep.
walking thing off the one. Yeah, people are like, oh, this guy's brand new. It's a big giant beacon, and that's fine. But I would recommend like that's a chance for you to express yourself, to make the channel unique and make it yours. So use some of these free tools. Grab some stuff that fits you. If you have some inside jokes with some of your followers or things that you want to kind of play up a little bit, like you can use. That's a good chance to kind of bring something different and like I said, unique to your channel in.
Yeah, absolutely. So another thing too you want to keep in mind is like don't have it obnoxiously loud, which also kind of rolls into the next topic is go back and watch your VODs. So once you get the ball rolling and you're starting to stream, go back and watch your past streams. Make sure everything sounds good. Make sure the Discord volume's good. So when you're playing with your friends, they're not too low or they're not too loud. So keep in mind, like Kay said, you're the star of the show. You want to be a little bit higher than your Discord buddies and everything else. So, game volume's good. Music's good. If you're playing music on your stream, go back and watch your VODs. It's so critical. Not a lot of people do that.
Yeah, that boggles my mind. Because I've always been, I mean, you and I are very similar. We've been very critical of our own quality consistently. So like I go back and I watch my own VODs all the time, even if I don't watch them all, like, cause I know what I look like. I know what the screen looks like. I'm not worried about the visual side of my quality. It's more the audio side. And I start off with a Blue Yeti microphone, just like everybody else. Since I've upgraded to, I have a Go XLR and a Shure microphone. And I've probably tweaked this microphone 100 different ways, and I still don't have it exactly where I want it. And I know that I don't, because I go back and I watch my own VODs. I watch my own YouTube videos. I go back, I'm like, oh man, it's really close, but it's not quite there. And I want to, tweak things around just a little bit. But not only just my mic quality, but like you said, the sound quality. If I add in new alerts, I want to know how those sound in the stream, because I know what they sound like to me. But I have a mixer board. The volumes are different, and I can literally just move a slider, and now things sound differently in my ear than they do on stream. So especially or playing a new game, there's some games are just louder than other ones. You have to adjust a bunch of things on the fly. Like I said, and we do a lot of conversations. We do talk shows and podcasts and stuff live on stream, or we do squad streams, and other people are in Discord in your ear. So you kind of want to keep those people probably, I don't know, I'd say probably 10 to 15% lower than where your quality is, because like we keep saying, you're the star of the show. You have to keep it that way. These other people, they're characters on your show, right? But the focus has to be on you. If people come in and your Discord people are talking louder, they're not paying attention to your chat. They're generally not responding to people. So sometimes if I mute myself in Discord and I go talk to chat, or you know what I mean, say something in there, thank somebody for a sub or a follow or whatever. And Discord, the guys in Discord are talking and overpowering me. Now they can't even hear what I'm saying when I'm trying to do like a separation from who I'm playing with and just focus directly on chat. So you have to make sure those volumes are all kind of fit well and work together.
Yep, absolutely. You like I would recommend going back and at least once a week rewatching your VODs. Just double check, make sure everything's good, make sure nothing got messed up. Audio sucks for me sometimes. And like I have had so many issues with audio across my streaming career that if audio had a throat, I would want to punch it. Like I hate audio at times, especially when Windows gets these updates and it completely breaks all the audio stuff. You got to go back through and adjust everything. It's so frustrating. I know Kay has heard me in Discord where I'm cussing out audio. Like, what is going on? Why does nothing work again? So it's just a pain in the butt. So just,
and it's always right before you go live, right? It's always right before you're like, it's a big day. I'm ready to stream. Everybody's ready. I hype this up, and I'm like, shit, I can't. I sound like a robot. I'm broken on here. Like I had it even with my shirt. Remember, I had the GoXLR did an update, and for like 3 hours, I was like, what is wrong? None of my sound effects worked. Everything was reset. I had to take forever and get everything set back up.
So like I said, I highly recommend doing that. It's one of the biggest things I think you guys should take away from this is just go back and watch your VODs. Make sure your quality is good, you know, picture and audio. And that rolls into the next topic is, you know, bit rate as far as like picture audio. You know, one thing you definitely want to kind of keep in mind if you have the internet to support it. Some people don't have the upload speed to support streaming. So double check, go check your internet speed, see what you're at. You typically want to be around 3,500 to 3,000 kilobits per second on bitrate for OBS. So keep that in mind. You definitely want to have like the safe bet is a third of your upload speed. So make sure your upload speed is at least 9 megabits upload. You know, Kay and I, we both streamed at 5,000 for a while. Now that we are partnered, we get the ability of dedicated transcoding. So if we can up our quality even more, and if somebody's internet can't keep up with it, they can lower down the quality on their end and still be able to watch the stream without buffering.
Right. Yeah, that's a big key point. Starting out, especially as an affiliate or somebody just starting out, anything above 5,000 is just going to make your viewers stream it's going to get pixelated, or it's going to stutter, and it's going to buffer a lot. So there's no reason to go above 5,000 unless you have dedicated encoding. Other than that, it becomes a hassle for people. But even that, even with the fact of being, or the ideal being, a third of your upload speed, I was less than that. I was at half. Well, my upload speed when I started out was only 10 megabytes. And my I still streamed at a bit rate of 5,000. It didn't run into too many issues. Every now and again, I dropped some frames, but it was steady enough. You can do it, but sometimes I would notice it was struggling, so I would drop it to 4, and it would be just fine. There was no real difference. But until you get now, I think we both stream at 7,000. But like I said, we're both streamers streaming at 1080p. We have that dedicated transcoding, so if people can't see us at 1080p, they can drop it down to 720 and run things smoother that way. I'd rather have a little bit less quality than have the stream stutter, because if it stutters, if you can't think of you watch a video on YouTube or Netflix or whatever, and it stutters, well, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I'm not watching anything. I'm gonna go to watch something that works.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to make sure you got to keep in mind of the other people that are watching your stream, because I know when I first started, I tried bumping up my bit rate to 6,000, 6,500, and I was having people coming in like, sorry, but I can't watch. I'm buffering constantly. So you got to keep in mind of your viewers. So you're gonna have to take that hit on quality occasionally, just so you can get your followers in there, until you can get that dedicated transcoding.
Guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Like I said, this was just a kind of a broad overview of what's going to be coming up. We're going to go into a lot more stuff, even as far as your how long you should stream for, your stream lengths, what games to play, your attitude, the difficult task of multitasking as a streamer, because you're your own essentially you're your own audio technician, you're your video technician, you're the writer, director, producer, everything all at the same time. So there's a lot going on. How to balance that a little bit, some audio tips and cues that we've picked up on various equipment. We have some other friends of ours that might join us that have literally, I think, owned every microphone on the planet and tried to stream with it. So we're going to bring him in, an expert, to give you kind of a hands-on look at some stuff. We even go more into some more video stuff, what cameras are really good, how to set those things up so they look good, using the filters and profiles within OBS to kind of tweak your your video a little bit more, and then on to growth, right? Growth, community growth. Everybody tells you, build your community, which I'm going to tell you, you might not want to hear this, but unless you're rocking about 500 average viewers, I think, per stream, I don't think you have a community, right? You got to remember you're part of a community, but we're going to get into that a little bit more. That's a very detailed topic to get into, but it's one of I think the most important ones if you want to focus on growth, is realizing where you sit in this hierarchy, or even in your own index, the games that you play constantly. So community is a big one, and hopefully we can give you guys some tips and tools. Like I said, we'll walk you through exactly how we did it, how we both got partnered, following these same kind of not secrets or not tips or even, but just strategy. We'll call it strategy. Following the same simple strategies is how we both got partnered. So we're gonna go ahead and let you guys know, how we did it, and hopefully can help you guys grow and reach whatever goals you want on Twitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Way to close it out there. If you guys liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button if you want to be informed with the next future videos that are coming out. Like I said, Kay and I both stream on Twitch. If you want to catch us there, feel free to ask us any questions while we're live. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.